Energized show, up the Irish.
Okay, what's going on, guys? And welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Russ, introduce the guest, man.
Today we have IMAF gold medalist, Cage Legacy champion, and undefeated mother, Shauna
Woo!
Mama B Bannon. Shauna, how you doing?
I'm doing good, yes.
Shauna, unbelievable year you've had this year. Unbelievable. How much did this year mean to you?
So much. Like every day when I was pregnant, all I thought about was getting back fighting. And like after the first fight, it was just like that first fight was in Bristol. After that, I was just like, oh my God, like I'm back. Because like when I was pregnant, it just felt like so far away. Like I couldn't see it actually happening. And then when I finally was getting back into competing actively, I was just like over the moon.
Yeah, Shauna, we're not going to lie. You are the Energized Show's female fighter of the year. You absolutely knocked it out of the park. And I believe you're also Houlihan Martial Arts' fighter of the year. That must have been some award for you to pick up as well.
Yeah, I was delighted. I wasn't expecting it at all last night. It was cool. And then when Paddy came over, I was like, what?
Unreal.
Shauna, obviously you're after coming off Cage Legacy and winning the main event, which was unbelievable, especially for Irish MMA. I know you're fighting Chanel, is it?
Yeah, Chanel, yeah.
Yeah, I know she's English. You're originally meant to fight Kai O'Sullivan, which would have been 2 IMAF gold medals as well, which would have been amazing. But I mean, like the headline, an Irish event, how did that feel for yourself?
It was unreal. Like I think the buzz in the place that night, like it was just hopping. And I was like, when I was walking out,
yes, it was.
looking around, it was hopping, wasn't it?
It was. It was outrageous. It was unreal.
Oh, it was deadly. It was unreal. And then even after I won and all, to just have so many people there, because like I had never really fought in like Dublin or anything before. Like it was always in Belfast or abroad with MMA. So it was really good to have all them there when I won afterwards, and all, everyone jumping into the cage having a rave and all.
Yeah, the Bannon army really took over.
Yeah. After the fight,
everyone just dived in the cage. They were like, shields off, everyone in their heels and all. They were diving in.
By the way, right, when we were watching your fight, right, I was distracted by one person outside the cage, and that was your mom. She had Jason one arm, and then she was like doing like this uppercut. She was like, get her. And I was like, oh my God, I go, like, #fight mom right there. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen, but also
one
of the most brilliant
things. Trying to get into the cage in the middle of it, like she was grabbing on the thing.
Yeah, she's an absolute mad woman, but legend nonetheless.
Yeah, it was great to see you such a big following there as well, Shauna, sorry, it was great to see you have such a big following there as well, supporting you. It was like we had Max on yesterday, and we were explaining how important it is to have a following of people to drive you and push you and like help you and support. And to see them all there supporting, it was like, wow, Shauna's definitely going to be a star.
Yeah, no, it was unreal, because like I used to always say, like, people would be like, oh, do you like fighting in the crowd or no crowd? And I used to kind of be like, oh, do you know what? Like, it doesn't really faze me. But at that night, with all them there, like it definitely made a huge difference. Like I could feel it in me, even walking out and all. I was just like, argh! Like there was no way she was ever going to beat me. Like I was just so focused, and they were just had me so hyped.
Obviously, at one stage during that fight as well, Shauna, you landed like a massive head kick and you dropped her. Did you think you were going to finish the fight in that moment?
Yeah, I just saw and I was like, go! And then she fucking just kept going. I was like, how do I put this bitch away?
Yeah, in fairness, she was very, very tough. You have to give her that. Like even at the end, I think you were in full mount and you were raining down the strikes on her at one stage, and I was like, is the ref going to step in here? And like she just about survived it. It was for majority of the fight, it was fairly one-sided, and it was probably a great way to cap off your amateur career.
Yeah, definitely. No, I was happy with my performance. I felt like a bit like, I don't know if my nose is broke. I think I broke my nose in the first round, but I kind of felt a bit but then I was just like, go, just keep going. Like I was just so focused. Like there was nothing that was going to stop me that day. Literally nothing.
Obviously, Shauna, I think you were 4-2, and then you had Jace, and now you're 4-3, I think, and now you had Jace. Now you're 9-3, I think it is, 5-0 this year. Like, what is the difference now since you become a mother? Like, is the drive so much more there? Is the focus so much more there? Like, what is the difference? Shauna pre-Jace and Shauna post-Jace.
Like, I think with Jace, like waking up with him every morning, he just gives me the drive. If there's a day where I'm like, like I just look at him and I know that I'm doing this for him, and like my motivation, I've never been so motivated my whole life. Like I've never felt this motivation that I have at the moment. And I think the year of not being able to like grapple and stuff, like I was obviously still training, but I wasn't able to grapple or anything like that. I think like taking kind of a step back and like reviewing things, which I probably never done before. I was just go, and I probably wasn't absorbing as much information, and there's probably things that I was missing. And I think in that year, from being on the sideline and having to watch classes and just kind of like not be able to do what I wanted to do, I took in a lot of information. And then when I went back to training after having Jace, there was things that I kind of was like, okay, I need to do this more and this less, and alter a couple of things. And I think I used to overtrain a lot before Jace as well, which it kind of left me like in bits like by halfway through the week, and so I wasn't getting the best out of every session, whereas now I'm kind of doing everything 100%, and I definitely feel like it's worked.
And obviously one of your sponsors, the Healthy Kitchen, do you find that because you have your meals prepped, that makes life so much easier for you, especially being a mother and then with training as well?
100%. Like when I first had Jason, I was back training hard. I didn't get on them straight away, kind of just doing my own thing, and I wasn't eating enough because like I was breastfeeding as well, so that like burns like 500 calories a day on its own, and then I was training twice a day and I just wasn't eating enough, so I was literally like in bits, and I ended up injuring my shoulder really bad, and I was out for like 2 months. I couldn't even hold Jace for like 3 weeks because my shoulder was just completely paralyzed. And then I broke my nose, and it was all just from under eating. And then as soon as I got back with the Healthy Kitchen and was getting them, like my time, because I don't have a lot of time with Jace and training, so it saved me so much time. And then like I'm getting all the nutrients that I need and my recovery after each session, fuel for each session. So it's literally like I can't thank them enough. Martin is just so good to me.
Baz, you love meal prep company as well. Baz loves them as well.
Yeah, no, it's just so important. I mean, it's just when you come home and you just know you have to throw in the oven or the microwave, it's already done. The hard work is already done, really, and that's so important. Like it just to carry on with your day, because sometimes when you get home, you're like, oh. But like
you're
more
snacking on bits while you're eating, and I just know that like I give him my macros that Tristan gives me, and then he makes them, and I know that I'm eating what I should be for what I'm doing. So it's literally like it's just another worry ticked off, like it's done for me, and I know that I'm getting the right feel.
Yeah, shout out Tristan as well. Shauna, just another thing as well, like with your team, like now that you've like less and less time and it has been more allocated correctly, like who do you sit down with? Do you sit down with Paddy, or do you sit down with Paddy and your family? Like how do you sort of like designate time towards your career?
Yeah, who gets a seat at the table, the Bannon table?
Say that again, the last part.
Who gets a seat at the Bannon table?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are involved in my training, which I'm so grateful for. Like my mom helps so much, and Jay started crash there a couple of weeks ago, so that's the morning that's kind of off. So it's like the evening times when my mom takes them, or else my friends if my mom's busy. And then like the morning time, Paddy would come early and do pads with me and stuff, because I have to be back for crash. So my strength conditioning training and stuff is more in the morning, and my pad work, and then jiu-jitsu classes, and then the evening it's like MMA with Paddy. So I just have to kind of like figure it all out, and I tick off all the boxes, and I'm like this. Do a diary every week. Every Sunday I do like a training diary of what I'm going to do each day, and like I have like what I'm doing that day, who's minding Jace, what I'm doing that day, who's minding Jace. So it's all scheduled out for the week.
Ross, there's another thing that like even Max said as himself, like it seems to be that the people are achieving the high standards that are people are actually writing down and like planning out their weeks correctly, rather than just being like, oh, what's this? Oh, I'm having Cocoa Pops. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Definitely, I think as you say, time management is something that's extremely crucial. And like I know, Sean, from having a child myself, that like I have to be very structured whenever I want to do anything myself. You know what I mean? Like I took up jiu-jitsu this week, and I go Tuesdays and this month I go Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then like, you know what I mean? Like if Jade has something on, my partner, she has stuff to do. Like she has to be like, right, are you free this time? And but you know what I mean? Time management.
You can't just
massive.
Get up and go anymore. It's like,
exactly.
Okay, now I need to organize this person.
Even doing the podcast and doing shows, like, you know what I mean? Like I have to like make myself free, but then I also have to like be aware that Barry needs to make himself free as well, and like we have to coordinate times and then coordinate times with the guests as well. So like, you know what I mean? Barry's the planning maestro, and then he sends me on the picture of the week, and I'm like, okay, grand. I'm the more
I can
airy
slot
fairy
something
one.
in here, slot something in there.
Yeah, he's definitely the planner.
At the end of the day, things are easier when you love doing them as well.
100%. Like I don't like, this is obviously my job now, and like I love it. Like some people, they're like, oh my God, you train twice a day. Like, what are you doing? And all. I'm like, but I love it. Like, I enjoy it. I'm learning as I'm going as well. So you're constantly like, it's not like you're going and you're hating it. Like, my least favorite part, I suppose, is strength and conditioning, but I do it because I have to do it. Like, but I prefer classes and rolling and kicking and punching and strangling people. That's more fun.
I hope you're not, Shauna. We obviously want to get into what your plan is for 2022, but like to wrap up 2021, what way would you describe it, or was there a certain time that like really like that you only remembered that 2021 was like, what exactly was your 2021 moment?
2021 was mad. It was literally like I was flat back training. I was supposed to fight in the March, and then Clan Wars got cancelled because COVID. And then that was when I broke my nose 1 week. And then 2 days later, I injured my shoulder and I literally wasn't able to train at all. So everything was taken away from me again. I was only like fighting ready again. And then I literally got thrown back and I had to like rehab loads. Literally, I had to move back home and everything because I couldn't lift straight because my arm was just like limp. And then got back training. Went for my first fight back. That was in Bristol. Got a first round finish there. Then... what was after that then? The IMAFs. No, sorry, Kerry-Ann. Fought Kerry-Ann. That was unreal as well. That was deadly, like setup outdoor. I've never fought outdoor before. So like that was different. So that was a good one. And then the IMAFs was definitely like, I don't know if that was the icing on the cake or the Cage Legacy. I think the IMAFs because I had came second the last time, and then to come back and win it, it was like
a redemption story.
Yeah. I think that was, I don't know. See, the buzz at the Cage Legacy, I think because everyone was there. It's such a hard one.
I was hoping you say the Cage Legacy because there was some mad buzz there, in fairness, and we weren't at the IMAFs.
I suppose Cage Legacy would have been the first time you got to fight in front of your son as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, no, I think probably Cage Legacy did do it for me.
Yeah, and obviously you're looking to go pro in 2022. Is there any offers on the table, or like do you have a preference of which route you want to go down? Do you want to go?
Yeah,
Cage
I think
Warriors,
like my first fight, I'm going to do it in Dublin.
Yeah,
I'd like to fight in Dublin for my first one, or like Ireland at least.
Yeah.
And then probably kind of maybe head over to America. I was kind of Paddy was in talks with Invicta and that, and then maybe UAE Warriors. But I kind of like the idea of the Invicta because I think there's lots of good girls there and I'd get a good challenge. And then obviously the UFC is my goal. So I'd like to have 5 fights within the next probably 18 months and hopefully then UFC.
So go on, Baz.
No, I was like, I think we're about to ask the same question you for it.
I was just going to say, so you want your first fight then probably still with a regional show in Ireland, whether a Cage Legacy, a Clan Wars.
I was thinking of like going away for the first one, but like I was offered a fight in October for UAE Warriors for pro, but then I didn't feel 100% ready there. Like, and now I know I'm ready after that fight. You know what I mean? Those extra couple of months definitely done me the world of good. And I was only coming back from Prague as well. So like, I don't want to jump straight into a pro fight. Like I have to, like, there's not much change that I'd be making, but obviously the rounds are longer. There's elbows, knees to the face. So like, there's a couple of adjustments that I've been training with Collie Matten the past couple of months there to work on the elbows and stuff. So like I'll be doing more of that now to kind of just get ready for them, really. But then the longer rounds as well. But I'm probably 12 weeks and then I'll be doing my pro debut.
And does Collie come to you or do you go into DCA?
I go to DCA.
Lovely.
Question on you.
Yeah, he is. He actually is a legend.
He's so sound.
Question on UAE Warriors. I've never actually seen a woman's fight on UFC Warriors before. Is there a roster with UAE Warriors for women?
Yeah, you know your one, the French girl that's in the UFC now. What's her name? Oh, I can't remember. She won the IMAFs before as well. I think she fought Liam McCourt. What's her name?
Pino or something? Give him a P.
I think I can't remember her name, but she's the champion flyweight there. Okay. No, they don't have loads of girl fights, but like probably every second card they'll have 1 or 2. And then that other girl, what's her name? Oh, I'm fucking terrible.
Oh, actually, you know what? Actually, I saw when John Mitchell fought before, there was a girl's fight on the card. There was like a Colombian or a Venezuelan girl on the card, actually.
Yeah, no, they do have a few.
Jimenez or something.
In the UFC, and I think she's 8-0 now. She's undefeated in the UFC. Casey O'Neill as well.
Oh yeah,
she came from UAE Warriors. There's been a few of them.
Australian. Brilliant. Yeah, no, that's fine. It just because I know sometimes they do that show where they have the international fighters and then they have like the Arabic only fighters, and I don't think there's any women on the Arabic only cards. I'm not 100% sure, but that's probably a geographical thing. Did you give any thought to maybe fighting in cage warriors? Have you considered that?
Like the last time they had a girl like Molly, or no, it's another girl as well. What's her name?
You want it?
No, that has fought in cage warriors. Like, I just
there's
don't
an English
feel like
girl
they
who
have many girls.
fought in cage warriors. Yeah, but who's to say Shauna Bannon can't be the one to change that?
Yeah, Shauna, first of all, let me just say this as well for the people listening. If you are new to the show, make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to follow Shauna on Instagram as well, at Shauna Bannon _ and on Twitter, Bannon _ Shauna. Shauna, when we were watching you going into the cage there last week, first of all, like you have the following, which is so important for big organizations. And then second of all, like you're coming out with the Ireland flag as well. It just suited you so well. I know you won gold for Ireland, but like for people to continue to see you with that is just like you could see something was in the air. And like I mean, it's not as if people don't know, because you're a champ, like in multi-champ in multiple organizations and multiple sports. Sorry, excuse me. But when you were doing that, I was like, right, this girl's already a star, and it was just I was hoping to God that you got the win. Just so maybe like if you didn't realize or if people didn't realize, then everyone would fucking realize. And then when you went in and did it, and then the way everyone went in, Ross actually was like, "Will we go into the cage for a photo?" Oh no, we were gonna, but like Jace wouldn't let us in. He was pushing us away. But I'm only messing. But yeah, we were looking into 2022 then, right? And we are like, right, Bellator is coming back in February, so we wanted to know, are you going to go that way? Cage Warriors, you are the person I think that like Graham Boylan or like Cage Warriors watch a lot of our stuff now, and like I like for them, if they're watching now, I think you are the person that they should get on to fly the flag, not only for Ireland but for women's MMA in Cage Warriors. They need to start to promote it, and you are that person. Ross, I know you're going to agree, but you may as well agree.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, Shauna, you have such superstar potential. I think, you're the total package, you know what I mean? Especially with your style more than anything in the cage. Like, I think it's so fan friendly. And if I was Ian Dean and like Ian Dean does watch our stuff, I'd be like, right, that's something you could build a roster around. And that's what it's about. You're looking to pick out the stars and you want to build a roster around it. Look, they're going to let, if they don't come get you, they're going to let a European talent go off to America and build up their name and brand over in America. You know what I mean? So that's totally on them, what they want to do. But I like the Invicta route for you as well. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't
expecting that either. Ross, we didn't see that one coming, really, do we?
That's kind of something that I've been saying since like the very, very start, to be honest. And like I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently she wants to do a European show. So that would be unreal as well.
Yeah,
Victor on UFC Fight Pass as well, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's a great idea, Invicta as well. I think, the women's only show. One thing that I love about covering mixed martial arts is that it's one of the very few sports in the world where the men and the women get close to equal coverage. I think that's really, really important because, it's equal talent, equal star power. Like at one stage, Ronda Rousey was the biggest star in the sport. You know what I mean? And you look at the stars across the sport now, and Amanda Nunes, Holly Holm, Misha Tate are still some of the biggest names in the sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
they're going years.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you flying the flag for women, and then also if you look in Ireland, if you look at like I think the top sort of 10, 15 most followed sports stars in the country, or the most look up to, you're looking at Kelly Harrington, Katie Taylor, Rachel Blackmore, the jockey, Katie McCabe in the football. You know what I mean? Like the women are you can very much so argue are doing better than the men at the moment in sports representing the country.
Yup, the girlos.
Yup, the girlos is right. And you know what I mean? Like, who's say Shauna Bannon's not the next one to lead the charge for Ireland? And at the moment, in terms of women's MMA in this country, you're definitely at the top of the pile.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, guys.
Did you feel any pressure with that though, Shauna? With people
no,
saying,
not at all. Like I think like I've always had pressure on me since I was a kid, because like my dad was my coach in kickboxing and everyone always expected me to win, but I never let it affect me. I was always kind of like, everyone's like, oh, there's so much pressure on you. I'm like, yeah. Like I think if I go into a fight, I'm always prepared to train hard, and I think when I've prepared well, that gives me the confidence in the cage. So the pressure doesn't even come into it, really.
Yeah, Yeah, that's why the way you put up everything online as well. When people follow you, they can see that you're putting in the effort, you're putting in the grind, you're working nonstop, you're working your ass off, literally. So that's why, like, when you see the benefits of like all the results, it's like you deserve these opportunities to go on shows and promote yourself. And it's great the way myself and Ross are covering the Irish MMA scene, and that like someone like yourself is someone that people are looking up to, for the likes of the Kayas and the Sarahs, was Karen Dog.
Karen Dog.
Karen Dogs. I only know
Magara.
a lot of people by their ats, but like Kyle Sullivan's, the Karen Dogs. You know, I mean, these people are looking at you, being a mother as well, being like, look, like no stone is left unturned with this girl. Like, this is someone that all the women should look up to, really.
Oh, that's nice to say. Thank you.
Shauna, what do you think makes you different to the other girls in the country?
I think my style is definitely different. I don't think there's anyone that has kind of like that point fighting style like me. I've obviously kind of changed it slightly to adapt it to MMA, but I still always stick to my roots. Like, I have my spinny kicks and my side kicks and my blitzy punches, and then I can kind of go back to like more boxing style if I need to. So like, I think my style, and then I've obviously developed my ground game. Most of my last fight was on the ground, so like I've proven that like I am a well-rounded fighter. Like, I'm not just a striker anymore. Like, I've worked so hard on my ground game and my wrestling.
You obviously ran to Conor McGregor recently. Did you say anything to him?
I was talking to him unfortunately, and he came to the Christmas party just to say hello.
And what
he didn't try to rob the belt, did he?
He's enough himself. He doesn't need any of mine.
Put that up between the two.
Did he give you any advice, Shauna? Did he?
No, not really. No, he didn't. He didn't say much.
You said make sure you spend plenty at the bar.
No, we actually came in and was like, the bar's free for the rest of the night.
Lethal.
Happy days.
Sean, in 2022, is there anything you've like sat down and like written down that you really want to achieve? And like, when do you actually expect to get back in and compete again?
Yeah, so I'd like to be 3-0 by the end of next year, and I'd like to have my first fight in March. Yeah, so that's the plan really. First fight in Ireland / Dublin. I'd rather Dublin if it's possible, and then probably my second and third head over to America or Dubai.
If there's issues with crowds, would you be more open to fighting elsewhere as opposed to Dublin then? Would that factor in?
No, I think like the first one, I think whether there's a crowd or not, I think I'm gonna go ahead with that one local, just for the first one. And then we'll see what opportunities arise. Yeah. But like, that's kind of what the plan is in my head.
I think there's going to be a few opportunities. Like I'll say you'll have a few options. Don't worry about that.
And then when it comes to a business side, obviously, you know, you're turning pro now. Is there people you lean into from a business point of view? Because now, like, you have to turn yourself into a brand more than ever. Who do you sort of look to emulate, and then who do you turn to for business advice?
So, like, obviously, Paddy has done the full route. Like, he's been to the UFC, so I obviously take all the advice that he gives me, and like, there's things that he done right and things that he done wrong, and he says like, this is the way I would do it, blah blah blah. But I have been in talks with a couple of managers to see. I don't know if I really need to be managed at this stage, especially like if I know what I'm going to be doing for the first 2 fights or 3 fights, maybe then I might need a manager. But I'm going to do a couple of Zooms with managers over that. I was speaking to a few American ones, so have a few questions for them and see how it goes. But like, I'm not really too pushed on getting a manager this soon, but if it feels right, I probably will go with it. It depends really on how the conversation goes.
Yeah, I suppose
it's all very exciting, Ross, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I suppose if you're going into those meetings not really feeling like you need a manager, you're going in with a position of strength that like you can say no, as opposed to if you're like, shit, I need a manager, then they're coming in, you're like, all right, go on, it's you then.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, like I think like there is, like, I was speaking to someone a couple of months ago about management, and then like I was like, I don't actually really feel like you're going to bring anything to me, like, so there's no point in just going with someone for the sake of it. Like, I have a fair idea of what I need to be doing in any way, and like I know how to approach sponsors like for that side of thing as well. So like, it's not necessary, but if the conversation goes and I feel like it will be a benefit to my career, I will take it now. But like, I don't really think it's absolutely necessary so soon.
I absolutely love it. Shauna, obviously we're going to wish you all the very best for 2022. I'm sure we'll have multiple conversations in the coming year. We'll be very closely following your journey as we have done. Do you have any people you want to shout out come the end of the show?
Yeah, just shout out to all my coaches and teammates. Without them, it literally wouldn't be possible. Like, I have the best team and coaches around me, and then my sponsors: Top 10, Healthy Kitchen, No Pain No Gain, my physio, and just everyone that supports me.
I felt like you had them
And
written down this
Sweeney's
time.
Garage. Sorry, Sweeney's Garage. They're very
I feel
good.
like you had them written down this time.
Oh no, I do always forget. It's so bad.
That's the problem having too many, isn't it? Shauna, like obviously, like your career so far has been it's something. It's pretty amazing. You know what I mean? Coming back, become like gone 5-0 ever since becoming a mum. Like a lot of people, like there will be a like if there's women now or male or female fighters checking out the show or whatever way you call yourself. What would you say? What would you say to like people that are like going on this career now? Like just looking at your career. Like what advice would you give them?
Just to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with the right people. I think that's a huge thing, because sometimes coaches and teammates can get jealous. Like, I've definitely been in environments where I felt that before. So make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people, and be honest with yourself about what your strengths and weaknesses are, because some people think they're great and like not everyone's great. You constantly can progress. Like, I don't care what, like MMA is the fastest growing sport in the world. Like, it's constantly progressing. There's constantly so much change because it's so many different martial arts. Like, you have everything. So I think being honest with yourself about what you need to work on and what you don't need, like, focus on, don't just keep doing what you're good at. Like, go down the routes of the things that you're not good at and progress there, so that like you're a well-rounded fighter, and just enjoy it. Make sure, like, because it's I have so much fun every day. Like, I love going training and I love competing and I love everything about it. So make sure you have fun.
As a wise man once told me, be you, be happy.
Yeah.
That's actually a direct quote from Barry.
Oh, really? You have the Barry quotes.
Oh my god, Shauna, it's been unreal watching your progression, following your work, like just seeing you win as well, and like you do it with a smile on your face, and you do it representing Ireland, and it's just long may it continue. I want to shout out everyone that's going over as part of the IMAF team in January to Dubai as well. We can't wait to like follow that.
I'll be there too.
Oh, will you? Oh, brilliant! Yeah, that's brilliant.
Hey, coach.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, that's class. Like, you know what I mean? For people tuning in, you all know that myself and Ross love covering the Irish MMA scene. And if you are new to the show, make sure to like, subscribe, and wish Shauna all the best in her career next year. Because if you are looking for someone to look out for in 2022, it is definitely Shauna Bannon. Ross, anything else to say, bud?
Just if you are watching the show, make sure to hit the bell notification so you don't miss any more Energized shows, because they are the best shows on the Irish market. Guys, thanks a million for watching. And as always,
stay energized.
Energized show, up the Irish. Been sussing you guys a couple of times. I've seen a couple of clips. I think you've done some interviews with Dylan Moran and that I saw. So keep going, keep up the good work, guys.